Hello, my name is Dante Renee, and welcome to the 10 Room Bizarro YouTube page where I talk about films that I believe need to be talked about more. Like tonight's film, this is 1971's The Love Garden. 1971's The Love Garden. This is actually part of the Vinegar Syndrome Drive-In collection with The Suckers, which I'll be looking at in the future sometime. But The Love Garden is what we're looking at right now from 1971, directed by Mark Haggard, 70 minutes long. And I think that I saw that Robert Chin is the producer. Is that Bob Chin? I'm not exactly sure. Bob Chin being a famous adult director. Now, I have to tell you, I was absolutely blown away by this film. Mesmerized, captivated, sucked in completely, emotionally distraught, on edge, like hypnotized, and really kind of captivated within the first 5 minutes of it. And then it just got more and more intense. I actually laughed out loud a few times while I was watching this because I just could not believe the power that the movie was having over me. The Love Garden. Let's get into this film right here. This is the back of the film, and there's a screenshot right there of two ladies kissing. The Love Garden is such a unique and incredible film because it's not a hardcore film, but damn, I mean, it's close, just in a couple frames and a couple scenes. But it's a sexploitation film that would probably be rated NC-17. It would be rated NC-17 today. Okay. It is a film intensely. I mean, 1971. My gosh, it's 2019. Also, it's modern day. Also, same issues. It's a film about gender issues. It's a film about men and women. It's a film about discovering yourself, discovering what you want, discovering who you are in relation to the same sex, the same gender, and the opposite gender. It's a movie about loving someone, truly being in love with someone. And what does that love have to do with discovering yourself and honesty and being a man or being a woman and male ego and preconceptions and gender philosophy and gender roles. It's a film that's intensely about love. Love, kind of a difficult love, hard love, something that's it's not easy. Life's not easy. This is not easy. The Love Garden is not an easy film. We have first-person narration in here from the lead male character, so we are inside of his head. And we have true captivation of, I keep using this word for myself, but also within the storyline, kind of true, kind of just absolutely being taken in immediately by somebody. If you see somebody and you're just absolutely sucked in by them, some people call it love at first sight, and then also the concept of kind of winning someone over. And then also the concept of conflicting emotions that one person can have for two different people, maybe, and two different life, two different worlds. The Love Garden is just as hypnotizing with the music, the soundtrack, the score for the film. It's this dreamy guitar work, and then all of a sudden just wonderfully magical percussive elements as well to the soundtrack. and we have some effects on the guitar, some certain pedals being utilized that just heighten the elation, the emotion. It's at times we have kind of a theme in the film that gets replayed, and at times it's elation. And at other times, that same theme can just be broken love, broken emotions, difficult love, difficult emotions, the difficulty of being alive, the difficulty of having of having a passion for someone. It's so interesting because it's complex, it's intelligent, it's very, very ahead of its time, but at the same time, 1971, I mean, probably very much in line with the time. The Love Garden, you know, really has a man and a woman in many regards being very open, very honest, very frank with each other in regards to their feelings and emotions, preconceptions about gender, and about each other. We have a real interesting pain going on in this film and a yearning. And it almost becomes this romantic game as you watch the film and are just utterly captivated. Kind of the lead girl in the film, the one who our man in the film, our lead male, is just absolutely taken in by. Her eyes, her face, her mannerisms, idiosyncrasies. There's nonverbal acting going on here with her that is just amazing. The way that she can hit the cues of the conflict and the complexities it's just incredible. And we have these really only two sex scenes in the film, these and they're lengthy, and they're quite possibly the best long sex scenes I've ever seen. Maybe, in my tops. And as I stated previously, they would be rated NC-17 today. You do have an erect penis and almost a little bit of oral and almost a little bit of gynecological shot, almost a little bit of, fingers and hands. And so it really plays the world a little bit, but it's not a XXX hardcore type of film. But the sex scenes are so powerfully done to me. They're so captivating to me. They're so interesting to me that would just kind of completely, I was just, I was forgetting to swallow my saliva while I was watching the sex scenes, and I was thinking to myself, wow, this is really interesting. And as I was watching the sex scenes, and most notably the second one, but both of them, you're really taken in by the emotions and the thought processes and the worlds, the mental worlds and the physical worlds of each one of the characters as you're watching these sex scenes. And they're intensely emotional and romantic and seductive and sexually captivating and hot in a variety of ways. I mean, we have I don't really want to give away much here, okay, but we do have also the interesting worlds, not just of gender in the Love Garden, but also the interesting worlds of sexuality and kind of identity, who you are, your place in the world, what you want for your future, and how do you define your past? How do you define your present? Your stereotypes, your breaking down of stereotypes. But ultimately, you know, it's what you want. I almost dropped the movie. Ultimately, it's what you want. It's who you are. You know, who are you really? And so, sexuality, homosexuality, you know, specifically, yeah. So, you know, homosexuality or lesbianism, and you know, versus heterosexuality, and does that define who you love? The interesting thing is that one of the characters in this film says how, you know, something along the lines of, how come we always wind up loving the wrong people? This is 1971's The Love Garden right here, folks. Oh man, do I love this movie. Thank you so much for watching the 10 Room Bazaar YouTube page, where I talk about films that I believe need to be talked about more, like The Love Garden from 1971, directed by Mark Haggard. Please feel free to check out my own personally made films. Making a transition from youtube.com/poopydiarrhea to my new home at vimeo.com/poopydiarrhea, because YouTube is way too conservative in what they allow anymore. So making that transition there. So join me if you'd like, and follow me there. Thank you so much, and good night.